shot comes to center. Challenging Erickson comes in between the circles. He scores! Hardy Sauter ties the shootout at 1.
Nothing like going top shelf on the first shot. Hardy went upstairs, and it's tied.
Here's Genstadt now with the Bulls. Their third shooter tied at 1. Genstadt coming in on Richards. Shoots and he stopped off the stick of Mark Richards. It remains tied at 1 as the Tiger Sharks go to their third shooter. Richards stopped Genstadt. He tried to go low to the stick side. Now here's Darren Schwartz. Here's Schwartz to center, grabs the puck. Schwartz across the Birmingham line, fakes the shot, comes in with a backhander, he scores! Darren Schwartz scores to give the Tiger Sharks a 2-1 lead in the shootout.
What a move by Darren there. The fake slap shot to the backhand between the legs. He gives the Tiger Sharks a 2-1 lead in the shootout.
Aaron Chris now the fourth shooter. Shootout tied at 2. Here comes Chris, grabs the puck at center. Across the Bull line, Chris comes in, wrist shot, scores! Aaron Chris scores on the wrist shot. Tiger Sharks lead the shootout 3-2. And now if Mark Richards stops the Bulls' fifth shooter, it'll be all over. Here comes Joyce to center. Joyce across the Tiger Shark line, in tight wrist shot, save by Richards! Mark Richards stops Joyce. The Tiger Sharks have won the game in a shootout, 3-2 the final score.
Good morning and welcome to the Tiger Shark Report here on Channel 27. I'm Jim Mirabello. This week's show is coming to you from Gold's Gym on Appalachia Parkway. It's the official training home of the Tiger Sharks, and quite often throughout the course of the season you can find the Tiger Sharks here working out. Coach Terry Christiansen will join me in just a moment. It's been a busy week for the Tiger Sharks. Games this weekend against the South Carolina Stingrays and a big overtime shootout victory over the Birmingham Bulls on Tuesday night. We'll talk about that, plus the big road trip coming up. Right now, let's check in with David Murray.
Coming up on this week's player profile, we'll take a look at Tiger Shark rookie defenseman Aaron Chris. Now let's check in with Dawn Kelly.
Well, folks, there's been a whole lot of action going on at the Leon County Civic Center. On February the 12th, Ron Pasco scored a hat trick against the Nashville Knights, getting the first 3 goals of the game for Tallahassee. Last Tuesday night, it was a close race with the Birmingham Bulls, but the Tiger Sharks pulled off a 3-2 win in a shootout. It gets even better, though, because on Friday night against the South Carolina Stingrays, Cal Ingraham scores a hat trick. And to top that off, there was a 5-0 shutout by the brick wall Mark Richards. The intermissions have been just as entertaining as the game, with the return of the adorable Mighty Mites, and for the first time ever, we had a figure skating demonstration. Last night was also a blast. It was the second annual 70s night with the return of the Village People. The winner of the 70s dance contest and more is coming up later. In the next couple of weeks, the Tiger Shark Report will bring you highlights from all the action downtown. And does Darren Schwartz score his 500 career points? We'll find out later in the show.
Thank you, Don. Now it's time for our Celebrity Hams Rule of the Game. Here's my Mellow 105 broadcast partner, Tom Neziol.
Welcome to this week's Celebrity Hams Rule of the Game. This week, we're going to talk about the different types of breakouts. Now, we'll have very basic breakouts for you, and there's really 2 of them, and then I have a surprise at the end, the breakout that the Florida Panthers use. So, before we get started, let's talk about the keys to good breakouts. First of all, you have to have good passing. Not one breakout can work successfully if there isn't good passing. Secondly, everybody has to go up the ice as one unit. Sometimes players get too far ahead of the play, and then it's not a good breakout, and that's really the responsibility of the wingers. Next, you have to be in position, and I'll show on the first breakout what I mean by that. Sometimes guys aren't in good positions to receive passes, and therefore the breakout won't be successful. Finally, and once again like last week, you have to communicate. A lot of times you have to talk with your guys and tell them where you're going, or let them know that you're open, and it might mean slapping your stick on the ice or giving a good yell to the guy. Now let's look at some of these breakouts. The first one is the standard breakout, and this one is very basic. The defenseman will have the puck behind the net. The two wingers, they'll be on what we call their hash marks, which are the little marks on the side of the circle. The centerman right here does a simple little curl, and the defenseman's in front of the net. Now, this defenseman has three options. He can make a pass to this winger, he can make a pass to this winger, or he can take a step out and make a pass to the centerman. Usually, let's say, for instance, he'll make a pass to this winger. Now, this centerman will curl, this winger will go up the ice, this defenseman will fill over here, this defenseman will fill over here. So now you have centerman, winger, winger. Then you can make a pass there to there, and then you're up the ice. Very simple. Now notice, they're at the hash marks. Sometimes wingers might line up there, and that's a difficult pass for a defenseman. They have to be on these hash marks. If a team's really pressuring, however, the wingers even have to drop down to here and line up. So look for that when you're at the games. The next type of breakout is called the controlled breakout. And this one is very similar with the initial setup. However, the centerman loops and dictates the type of breakout. Once again, the defenseman will have the puck behind the net. Let's say this centerman wants to go to this side. So he'll loop to the corner like this. Now this winger will simply come to the middle. This defenseman now has the option of passing the puck to the looping centerman. He can pass to this winger. Now while all this is going on, this defenseman drops off to the corner, and he also becomes an option. So then he could pass to him and then to the winger or to this other winger who fills in. But usually you'll see the pass to the centerman. The centerman will skate up the ice. This winger is in this lane. This winger is in this lane. And then you have three guys abreast coming up the ice. It's a very good breakout. Now I told you I had a little treat today. The Florida Panthers breakout. And sometimes you'll even see the Tiger Sharks use it. It's a very good breakout. Basically what happens, it's the same initial setup. The defenseman will have the puck behind the net. Now this centerman, once again, he'll loop to this corner, but instead of the winger coming to the middle, this winger is gonna come all the way out just before center ice. Let's say that's center ice, and he'll cut across to the middle and go all the way to the other side of the ice. This winger, in the meantime, he'll belly right through the middle and come up here. Now, the reason this happens, once again, this defenseman will go to that corner, and usually the D-man will make the pass to the centerman, who then goes up ice. The reason the winger leaves the zone is because usually there's a forechecker here, and the team's doing a good job of pressuring. So he wants this winger or the forechecker to stay with him all the way out here and then cause confusion by cutting across the center ice line. It's a very good breakout, and sometimes you'll see the Tiger Sharks use it. So make sure you pay attention to the different types of breakouts the next time you're at the game. And that's this week's Celebrity Ham's Rule of the Game.
Celebrity Hams is more than spiral sliced ham. It's succulent, honey-roasted, marinated rotisserie chicken. Celebrity roasters are seasoned overnight in a unique blend of herbs and spices, slow roasted to perfection from chickens that are farm fresh, never frozen. Celebrity Hams and Roasters serves handmade chicken pot pies, chicken salad, lunch plates, and the original stuff and muffin, the healthy choice for lunch or dinner. Chicken used to be chicken, but not anymore. Taste the difference honey-roasted, marinated rotisserie chickens make, only at Celebrity Hams and Roasters.
Who makes the world's greatest hamburger? World's greatest. Fuddruckers. Oh. At Fuddruckers, you start with a freshly ground half-pound hamburger. Fresh. After that, it's in your hands. Yes. So, who makes the world's greatest hamburgers? Fuddruckers. Fuddruckers and you. Fuddruckers.
In Florida, bank holding companies are literally buying out their competition. Every transaction is processed by a machine. Phones are answered by computer-generated voices. Even loan decisions are faxed to their home offices in other cities for review. At Capital City Bank Group, the most important asset always has and always will be our people. You can still do business with someone you know.
Well, with us now is Tiger Sharks head coach Terry Christiansen. This week's show coming to you from Gold's Gym on Appalachia Parkway, where the Tiger Sharks work out. And Terry, I think a lot of that workout and a lot of the time spent in here might hopefully start to pay off, because the team has a very grueling road trip ahead of them, 8 games in 13 days on the road.
Well, Jim, the people at Gold's have always been so good to us. You know, you've got Monk down here is in the Hall of Fame for Florida State football. Pam, in fact, Pam, one of the owners, she put the team through a workout last year. You know, I thought she was going to put us in the intensive care unit at first, but seriously, they do a great job here at Gold's Gym. We really enjoy our time down here. I know the players, it's a great place for them to work out. But coming into our road schedule here now, Jim, we've just had the 2 games here now against South Carolina, but going on the road, I think, always brings a team close together. Going on the road this time of the year becomes a little more difficult because all the teams are gunning for a playoff spot or jockeying for a position in the Riley Cup playoffs. So each time you go into a building, it's a very difficult test. But certainly this is the time of year where your team has got to come together, and there's no better place to do it than on the road.
Last year's team on the road was tremendously successful. You won 21 games on the road, and now that we look at the last 15 games of the season, we've got just 4 at home and 11 on the road. So hopefully that same kind of character that showed last year will show again in these guys this year.
Well, we certainly have to pick up our play on the road. Right now we're less than 500 on the road. I think there's some things that there's some factors that play into that record. I'm not the kind of coach that's going to make excuses. The people that have watched this show in the past understand that I try to tell it exactly like it is. But, you know, last year we lost so many games at home in the beginning when we were just trying to put the franchise together, so to speak, and put ourselves in a position where it was absolutely a necessity for us to win on the road. I think this year we've got one of the better records at home, but we went through some injury problems in the beginning of this season. When we lost Mark Richards, we lost all of our offense, and really, fortunately for the fans at home, we were on the road at that time, and we won, I think, only one of those games when we were out there like that. So going into this, the road schedule now, at this point in our season, we've got almost all of our bodies in the lineup. We're going to get Shane Henry back in the lineup healthy here soon. We've got Trevor Jobe in the lineup now with the trade. He's going to get himself in the game shape. So we're really looking forward to this challenge right now. When you go on the road, you got to play more, I would say, closer to a playoff style of hockey. You got to take things 5 minutes at a time. You can't go into a game and say, we absolutely have to win this game. You got to go into it and focus on the fundamentals of the game, the little things that we have to execute to be successful. And if we have that type of mindset, we should be okay.
Well, coming up, David Murray has this week's player profile. We'll take a look at Aaron Chris when the Tiger Shark Report continues.